We live on a beautiful but dangerous planet. It's been said disease begins in the gut, and this is true. But it does not have to begin in the gut at all. Here are 4 easy to understand rules for better digestive health. Gas, bloating, distension, being overly full after a meal, belching, reflux. None of this is fun. Some of our clients do indeed have major GI dysfunction, which requires in-depth intervention. In many cases, however, our clients find major relief by simply adopting a few principles that we call eating hygiene. Here are some of our most helpful tips, and we do hope you use them to get rid of your own GI frustrations. And don't be fooled by how simple these ideas seem at first. They are powerful. Number 1, slow down. We know it's easier said than done at times, especially if you were raised in a big family and you couldn't have seconds or dessert unless you practically inhaled what was on your plate. But digestion takes time. And digestive secretions such as stomach acid, bile, pancreatic enzymes need time to be fully secreted. And if we're stressed, it takes longer. Who is not overly stressed these days? If you wolf down your meal in a hurry, a very full stomach has trouble mixing acids and enzymes with your food. All on its own, this dynamic creates indigestion. Think of trying to blend a batch of stir fry into a coffee cup. When it spills over, you belch and burp, and you may have reflux. Getting in the habit of putting down your knife and fork and sitting back in your chair in between each bite of food. A good idea is to have a little conversation between bites. After you swallow, at least take one full cleansing breath before you pick up your utensils to enjoy another bite. Believe it or not, on average, we chew a bite of food only 5 to 6 times before we swallow. Chewing is the only part of the digestive process that's voluntary. We actually can control that. The less we chew our food, the harder our GI tract has to work. This creates post-meal fatigue. Ideally, we chew our food until it's almost liquid before swallowing. This will help to reduce gas and increase post-meal energy. When we swallow chunks of food versus tiny, mostly liquefied bits, it's harder for digestive enzymes in the intestines to do their job. When carbohydrate foods hang around too long, the bacteria in our guts feast heartily and create gas buildup as a metabolic byproduct. The result? Distension, bloating, flatulence. If you chew thoroughly, it's also much easier to slow down. Count your chews literally. Chew every bite 20 to 30 times, except soups and other delicate foods. Again, we ideally chew food until it's liquid. If you feel a strong impetus to swallow beforehand, just move the food to the side of your mouth, swallow saliva, and keep chewing like you do when you automatically with gum. Make eating a priority. Many people feel that eating is somehow a waste of time unless it's done while multitasking. A fascinating choice when you consider that eating is the one thing we do which literally creates our future body. We get in the habit of eating on the go, for example, in the car, rushing to a meeting, walking to another building, or standing up at the counter. All of these are a recipe for indigestion. A high-impact way to live on purpose is to treat a meal as a special, singular event. Give it a little sacred space. Make sure you sit down. When we eat in a way that doesn't allow our nervous system to fully relax and move into parasympathetic mode, we literally put out less digestive fluids. It's part of our body's survival mechanism. We either ask the body to focus and rush and perform, fight or flight, or we ask it to take a break and build strength and energy for the future via eating. This is what we call rest and digest versus fight and flight. The body cannot do both at once. Notice the diarrhea and nausea many people feel in a stressful situation. Communicate to your body with your actions that it's safe to relax and let down our guard and focus on digestion and restoring our reserves. Breathe. The body needs oxygen to properly digest. Help calm your body and support digestion by taking a few slow, calming breaths when you sit down to a meal before you start eating. Relax and savor. Try to learn to just be in the moment with your food. Savor the flavor, colors, texture, aromas. Most of us are mentally elsewhere while we eat. The result? If we don't eat consciously and mindfully, we are much more likely to overeat. Distraction increases food intake, postpones stressful discussions, replying to tense emails, or paying bills until later. Plan your meals. For most people, it helps to put them literally on your daily appointment or commitment calendar. This ensures the time is truly set aside to care for yourself via mindful eating. Yes, we need to be hydrated and focus on plain, clear water intake for overall wellness. That is true. However, the best time to hydrate is in between meals. When you consume large amounts of water during a meal, you dilute the acidity of your stomach acid and slow down the digestion. Depending on your sensitivity, this can cause an early sense of fullness and belching, and long-term can cause malnutrition, especially low B12, magnesium, or iron. If it's near mealtime and you feel thirsty, make a point of drinking a large glass of water right away. Then allow your body to absorb it while you're in transit to your meal or while you prepare it, ideally 20 plus minutes before eating. This allows the water to clear your stomach before its digestive duty begins. Ideally, get in the habit of carrying a water glass or bottle around with you throughout the day and sip on it regularly. These are indeed simple solutions, but don't underestimate how powerful they can be. We have seen many clients dramatically improve their digestion, energy, and nutrition with these steps. Given our stress-crazed, overachievement-obsessed, go-go-go society, however, it can be hard to implement these principles consistently, but I know you can do it. Like anything else, it just has to be a priority. We recommend printing out a copy of this article and keeping it on your dining table. Repetition and persistence can create a big change and real relief. Slow down. Chew your food. Make eating a priority. Hydrate between meals.